we go to transanity. To quote the great Ronald Reagan,
there you go again.
A dude who likes to vote pretty in Congress,
Excuse me, it's ma'am,
says that the they-them ad that Trump ran during the campaign was only successful because Dems wouldn't open their mouths.
Stupid and retarded.
I'm Jazz Berganzo on this. No, those of us who believe in common sense and facts don't believe dudes who like to vote pretty.
it is ma'am.
You know, chicks with dicks.
What the fuck?
Are women. But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Daily Dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Thursday. And I don't get to do this much anymore, only because of time restraint, but this is video number 2 of the day. Well, like I said in my intro, to quote the great Ronald Reagan, well, here we go again. Transanity, of course, raises its ugly head as it always does, not because, it's Pride Month, because we're in July, but you got somebody who's a little ticked off, a little miffed, something crawled up his skirt. Who am I talking about? Tim McBride. Yes, Sarah, don't call me Tim McBride, has got a problem. He says that the reason why the ad, and one of the best ads that Trump ever did during the campaign season, the they-them ad, worked is because Democrats refused to open their mouths and shout, I am they-them, I'm a dude who likes to feel pretty, hear me roar. No, it didn't work. No, the reason why it did work is because those of us who believe in common sense, facts, genetics, faith, biology, these things don't believe in dudes who like to feel pretty, also known as chicks with dicks. But that's just me. And here we go. This, coming out of Breitbart. Trans Dem rep says that Trump's they-them ad worked because Dems remained silent. Trans mental representative Sarah, don't call me Tim McBride, said that President Donald Trump's Kamala they-them ad resonated with the public is because Democrat leaders remained silent instead of responding to the attack during the 2024 season. No, is that because Kamala's an idiot? In an interview with the Hill in the Know columnist Judy Kurtz, McBride was asked about the Trump campaign ad that appeared to be highly effective and asked whether Democrats needed to handle the issue differently going into the midterms and the next presidential race. Transmentalism should not even be coming up for debate, but the Democrats are like, no, it will. Quote, in the 2024 campaign race, there was an ad that Trump campaigned saying that Kamala Harris is for they-them and Donald Trump is for us. I believe that it's featured in your documentary as well. It seemed to be pretty effective, Kurtz asked. Do you think going into the midterms that the next presidential race, Democrats have to be careful in how they handle this issue so they're not pushed off balance by Republicans? That's a nice PC way to ask it. And here's Tim's answer.
In the 2024 White House race, there was an ad from the Trump campaign saying that Kamala Harris is for they and them and Donald Trump is for us. I believe it was featured in your documentary as well. It seemed to be pretty
nice to be living in the land of fantasy, huh?
Effective. Do you think going into the midterms and then the 2028 presidential race, do Democrats have to be careful in how they handle this issue to not be pushed maybe off balance by Republicans?
Well, I think the degree to which that ad was effective in the last election, I think, was a byproduct of two major issues. One was the perception that people had that Democrats were not fighting for bold, broad-based economic policy,
which was fact,
as our top priority. And the second was that we were silent in the face of the ad. I think many of them...
It didn't matter because Kamala spoke word salad. That's why. Your candidate was trash.
Our political leaders in that moment were concerned about how to respond and therefore sort of remain silent. And I think some of the lessons learned from the 2024 cycle is that we have to be able to respond. We have to be willing to respond.
Yeah, about that. McBride said that many Democrat leaders were unsure how to answer Trump's campaign messaging and ultimately chose not to respond. Quote, I think many of our political leaders in that moment were concerned about how to respond and therefore sort of remained silent, McBride said. I think some of the lessons we learned in the 24 cycle is that we have to be able to respond. We have to be willing to respond. The interview referred to Trump's 24 campaign ad, Kamala is they, them, President Trump is for you, which viewed more than, at the time, 632,000 times and received over 22,000 likes on YouTube. Right now, well over into the millions. My thoughts. No, Tim. No, sir. Not digging it. The fact of the matter is that you're right. This campaign went two ways. First of all, the fact of the matter is that the they, them ad, and Trump is for us resonated with the majority, the overwhelming majority, 60% majority of the American public, is because no one's digging the transmentals. No, when you are dealing with a mental illness, American voters were like, no, we're not digging it. No, we don't want it. And then on top of it, you have the worst candidate running for president in the history of this presidency, Queen Word Salad herself, Kamala Harris. She couldn't put two sentences together, and when she did, she was drunk half the time. So when you have a candidate who's inadequate, a candidate who's incompetent, a candidate who's a buffoon, a moron, a cretin, a goof, what do you expect? She learned from the best, a dementia-riddled old man. So what are you going to do? Come midterms in, just months away. You got to continue to push the transmentalism down to people's throats. Republicans are going to look at this like, you're retarded. Common sensors, independents are going to be like, not digging it again. And this could be a massive losing issue for you come the midterms and going into the presidency. Because if you have to go up against Vance and a Vance Rubio ticket, a Vance DeSantis ticket, a Vance Tulsi Gabbard ticket, you're going to get crushed. No matter who you put forth, you're going to get crushed. And if they mention transmentalism, it's going to be severely a bloody mess. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.